moving to a new country, say the US or Canada. It's this huge moment, the ultimate pursuit of opportunity. It's a dream, really.
It is.
But our sources today show something pretty stark. The second you land, all that excitement, it paints a massive unintended financial target right on your back.
That's absolutely true. When you arrive, you're instantly trying to figure out unfamiliar legal systems, new banks, and, often there are language barriers.
Right.
And fraudsters see these challenges not as barriers, but as, easy vulnerabilities to exploit. Our mission in this deep dive is simple.
Okay.
It's to distill the core risks that prey on this unfamiliarity, to give you the immediate financial defense you need, like right now.
Okay, so let's unpack this stack of source material we've got. We've pulled together everything from consumer protection agencies to financial specialists.
A real cross-section.
We're covering the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
The outright cons like job and immigration scams, and then the major financial pitfalls, things like predatory lending and credit mistakes, that can just quietly derail your long-term stability for years to come.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how the combination of systemic challenges and emotional pressure create this perfect target.
How so?
Well, sources cite that having to navigate really complex legal processes while you're also dealing with language or cultural barriers is exactly what fraudsters weaponize.
Do you see an opening?
A huge one. They offer these false promises of quick service right when you're already feeling completely overwhelmed.
And that strain, it often starts before the scams even hit you. One crucial finding from the financial specialists we reviewed is just the sheer financial shock that so many newcomers face.
The cost of living.
Exactly. They often severely underestimate it. Housing, healthcare, food, because the assumptions you draw from back home, they just don't translate.
That underestimation is a massive vulnerability. I mean, if your budget is immediately short, you're pretty much forced to rely on high-interest debt or maybe informal lending just to cover the essentials.
And that stress is the opening.
That instant stress is what scammers capitalize on. I can only imagine trying to convert my grocery budget from one country to another and just getting it completely wrong.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Whether you're facing a massive mortgage scam or, a small phishing attempt, there are these universal red flags. So what are those non-negotiable warning signs that you, the listener, should just internalize right now?
The primary red flag is urgency, and it's specifically tied to your legal status.
Ah, okay.
Scammers use these high-pressure tactics.
Yeah.
They threaten immediate arrest, legal action, or, and this is critical for newcomers, deportation or the loss of your visa status. They do it to short-circuit your rational thought.
So if they stop you from pausing and just checking, they've won.
They've won. That urgency tactic is incredibly insidious. It's not just about money.
No, it's leveraging their deepest fear of losing everything they came for.
Exactly. The next one is upfront fees. If anyone, for a job, a service, a special grant, demands an advance payment for something that doesn't exist, that is a scam. Legitimate employers do not charge you to hire you.
Makes sense.
Also, watch out for unprofessional, poorly written communication or strained email addresses. And finally, if the offer is too good to be true, whether it's high returns or super inexpensive housing, it almost certainly is.
And that's when they ask for the details.
Always. They'll follow up by requesting sensitive info like your social insurance number, your SIN, or bank details, which you must never share unless you initiated the transaction with a trusted, verified institution.
So if the financial pressure wasn't enough, our sources show that even seeking legitimate help can be a massive trap, especially when you're navigating language and legal systems.
It's a minefield.
Let's talk about this linguistic confusion that has cost so many newcomers their legal status in the U.S., the whole notario confusion.
This is a devastating and really widespread issue, particularly targeting Latin American individuals. It all centers on the different meanings of the title notario publico.
Right, because in many countries, that person is a highly respected legal professional. They have specialized training.
They do. But in the U.S., that title just translates to a notary public.
Which is someone who just, witnesses signatures?
That's it. They're appointed by the state only to witness signatures and administer oaths. They have zero legal authorization to advise you on the specifics of immigration law.
And that misunderstanding leads people to seek cheap help from someone who's completely unauthorized.
And that's so incredibly dangerous. Immigration law is constantly changing. Sources warn that a notary public's limited understanding can lead to catastrophic missteps.
Like what?
Signing forms with false information, which can lead to denials, delays, or even make them vulnerable to deportation.
So who can provide advice? What's the clear, non-negotiable rule you need to remember here?
The rule is simple, and it is critical for your future. Only a licensed immigration attorney who is subject to strict ethical rules and accountability, or an accredited representative working for a U.S. Department of Justice, a DOJ-recognized nonprofit organization, can legally give you advice on your status
Anyone else is just taking your money.
and risking your future.
Beyond these professional traps, we're just drowning in digital scams. If you're searching online for immigration help, you'll see fake websites that look totally legitimate.
Oh, yeah, they use names like U.S. Immigration, they'll show flags or the Statue of Liberty. They look real.
So what's the shortcut? How do you tell the difference?
The critical shortcut you need is the web address. Official U.S. government websites must end in .gov.
.gov.
If you are paying a fee to download forms from a site that doesn't end in .gov, it's a scam. Official USCIS forms, that's the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, are always free.
That is a massive takeaway right there. .gov or it's a no-go.
Absolutely. And the same vigilance applies to the visa lottery. Entry to the diversity visa program is free, and nobody can influence the random selection process, no matter what scammers promise.
And for refugees?
Same thing. If you're a refugee and someone reaches out claiming you're eligible for a special government grant, but they demand payment up front or your bank info for a deposit, that is also a flat-out scam.
Okay, so let's say you avoid those immediate legal and identity traps. What are the long-term financial mistakes that just sort of erode your stability over years?
The first one, and it's often a painful one, is related to remittances sending money back home.
Which is so important for so many people.
It is an essential responsibility. We know remittances to Africa alone were over $91 billion in 2021. The mistake, though, is overcommitting too soon.
Before you're really stable yourself.
Yes. You have to stabilize your own income, cover your new high living expenses, and build a local emergency fund before you commit to regular transfers. Without that foundation, even a minor financial issue here can cause significant strain for everyone.
That makes perfect sense. The second major pitfall, then, is not understanding the new credit systems.
Huge. Many people rely on high-interest credit or informal lending without grasping the consequences, or, crucially, the need to establish a local credit history.
Which is the key to everything.
A strong local credit history opens doors to financial advancement and lower interest rates on, well, everything from apartments to loans. You have to prioritize building it safely.
How do you do that?
Think secured credit cards or maybe small installment loans that actively report to the credit bureaus. But the biggest long-term threat here, it's predatory lending.
And that hits right at the primary wealth-building tool, homeownership.
It does. Homeownership is a huge lever for success, but, data shows that Latino wealth levels lag non-Hispanic whites by more than 10 to 1.
Wow, 10 to 1.
And a large part of that is due to differences in home equity. Predatory practices are actively making that gap worse.
How? What are they doing?
It's often product steering. Many borrowers who should qualify for prime, low-risk loans are intentionally steered toward expensive subprime products. What's really shocking here is the sheer cost of this steering over time.
Wait, if the borrower qualifies for the better loan, how is that steering legally justified? Are they just not being shown the cheaper options?
That's often the case. They're rushed, they're not given clear comparisons, or they're discouraged from asking too many questions.
And the cost difference is significant.
It's massive. Sources show that even a 3 percentage point difference in the interest rate can mean you're paying $285 more every single month on a modest $130,000 home loan.
$285 a month. That's like a week's worth of groceries, just gone every month because of financial ignorance and steering.
And that loss compounds heavily. By year 5, you've accumulated 50% less equity. This steering robs newcomers of the chance to build generational wealth right from the start.
So what are the most dangerous predatory products we need to watch out for?
2 really stand out. The contract for deed and interest-only loans.
Okay, what's a contract for deed?
In that situation, you, the buyer, pay the seller directly. But you do not own the asset until the final payment is made.
So you don't actually have the title?
No. You are vulnerable to immediate eviction if you miss a single payment, and you lose every penny. You build zero equity.
That's effectively renting, but with the risk of total forfeiture.
Exactly. The second one is interest-only loans. These let the borrower pay only the interest for a certain period. The principal balance never shrinks.
That seems incredibly dangerous.
It is, because it leads very quickly to an upside-down mortgage, which means you owe more on the home than the home is actually worth.
Let's shift our focus to the threats you might face daily. Starting with job scams, which are particularly rampant in Canada.
Right.
If a job offer seems too good to be true or it requires an upfront fee for processing or training, that's a red flag. Always verify the company's legitimacy yourself.
And there's a very specific illegal scam targeting temporary foreign workers in Canada. It involves the Labor Market Impact Assessment, or LMIA.
That's the document employers need, right?
It's the federal document employers have to secure before they can hire a foreign worker.
And the scam is that recruiters try to sell it to the worker.
Yes, and it is absolutely illegal to charge the temporary foreign worker for the LMIA. The employer is legally obligated to cover the $1,000 application fee. If a recruiter sells you an LMIA, it is fraudulent.
Okay, shifting to housing. Rental scams are just as common, especially in high-demand cities.
Oh, everywhere.
The absolute rule here is never wire money to secure a rental before you have physically seen the property, met the landlord, and verified their documentation.
Finally, we have the omnipresent imposter scams. This is where fraudsters impersonate government agencies like the Canada Revenue Agency, the CRA, or the IRS in the States.
And they use those same terrifying threats.
Legal action, arrest, deportation, they use those threats to extract immediate payment. This is where that urgency red flag we talked about comes back into full force.
So let's be crystal clear here. If the CRA or the IRS calls you and demands payment, what is the definitive rule?
Canadian government agencies, like the CRA, will never ask for personal information or demand payment via e-transfer, gift cards, or over the phone. Never.
So what do you do?
If you receive one of these high-pressure calls, you hang up immediately. Then you contact the official agency directly using a verified number you looked up online yourself.
And the same vigilance, it applies to things like fake charities and romance scams too, right?
Of course, never send money to someone you've only met online.
We've covered the breadth of these threats. Now, how do we build a robust long-term defense?
It really starts with fundamental identity protection.
The basics.
The basics. Never give out sensitive details like your social insurance number or banking information unless it's absolutely necessary. Keep all your physical documents secure. Shred anything sensitive before you throw it away.
And community plays a huge role in prevention.
A vital role. Immigrant communities can act as a critical defense network. They can host educational workshops to spot red flags, share verified contacts for licensed professionals,
And just offer language support, I imagine.
essential language support, or translation assistance to help members fully understand contracts and forms. And mentorship programs pairing newcomers with experienced immigrants, those are essential.
Now, if you do encounter a scam, even if you didn't lose any money reporting, it is just paramount.
It is. Scammers rely on their actions going unreported. Reporting helps law enforcement find patterns and shut these operations down.
So where do you report it?
In the U.S., report the incident to your local law enforcement or the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. For finance-specific fraud, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, is also a key resource.
And if you realize you did lose money, immediate action is required. What's the rapid response plan?
Speed is everything here. If it was a gift card, contact the gift card company immediately. If it was a debit or credit card, you file a dispute or a chargeback with your card company.
And a wire transfer.
If it was a bank transfer or wire, contact your bank or the money transfer company immediately to file a fraud complaint. You have to act fast.
This deep dive really provides a critical shortcut to safety, I think. It turns that initial uncertainty into informed control.
It does.
The knowledge we've shared is your ultimate protective measure against schemes that are really just designed to exploit vulnerability.
And the critical takeaway is adaptation. Financial strategies that worked perfectly for you back home may not translate well abroad at all. You have to perform a complete reset on your expectations for spending, tax obligations, and credit history to ensure your long-term stability.
So here's a final thought. Given that home equity accounts for roughly 2/3 of the net worth for many immigrant families, and we know the wealth gap is made worse by these predatory practices, how much of your long-term success as a newcomer hinges not on finding the best job opportunities, but simply on consistently and vigilantly avoiding the wrong initial legal and financial decisions? Think about the leverage that defensive knowledge really gives you.